Okay, so step 2. I remarked the markings. Hopefully you can see them a bit better. The idea is that you're going to take the first mark to the seam edge there, second mark to the next one, and so on. So you can see that it should match up. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm just going to sew that. Obviously what you should do is pin it, because then it'll be a lot more accurate. So pinning it would work a lot better, but given swift demo, I'm just going to try and do it without pinning it. I've already missed my 1/4 inch mark, so it's going to be very crooked, but still. And because it will try and loop on itself, it's definitely a lot easier if one pins it. Get off there. Pull the thread. This is very crooked sewing, but I'm sure you've got the idea. So, having done that, if you iron out that seam first before you cut it, then you will not have to do lots of ironing afterwards. Pull it so it's now inside out. Okay, I didn't sew it very well, it's not lined up very well, but you can see that if you were taking your time and doing it properly, it would line up. You then have all these marks. The key of it is because you must offset it. If when you go to line it up before you sew it, it's not offset, then you know you've gone wrong somewhere. But as long as it's offset by the width of the binding you want, then once you've done that and sewn that second seam, you can then go round and round, as in like windmills of your mind, and it's easier if you turn it so that the right side is facing you. Well, you can see I've missed the mark there, but again, I suppose it doesn't matter. It depends what you're using it for and how, whatever, because when you've turned over your bias binding edges and so on, as long as you end up with the width that you want, it's almost a moot point. When you get to the bit where you've got the extra, which you're bound to get, the only way you wouldn't get any extra, any wastage like that, is if you work out the length of your diagonal on the square, if that is divisible by the width of your bias binding, because then when you mark it, but then as you can see, you do end up with da-da-da, which is pretty damn good. It's not as good as the other one I did earlier when I wasn't in such a hurry, where as you can see that was lined up better. And if it's lined up all straight and you're not rushing along, then you should end up with it straight. Ta-da! There you go, Jill. I hope your class can now make continuous bias binding.